What is up, my loves? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to achieve this super cute asymmetrical bob cut. This is a lace front sew-in and there was no glue used to apply this baby down. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this technique with absolutely no glue, no gel, no got-to-be, no freeze spray, any of that. Now the freeze spray was used to put the cap down but not the frontal, so I don't want to hear your mouth, okay? So yeah, just keep watching, you guys, and we're starting from the very top. So of course the first thing you want to do is detangle your client's hair, and then I'm going to just go in and do some straight back. So I'm braiding her hair straight to the back. Yes, both me and my client are aware she has thinning edges. This was not caused from the frontal, nor will this frontal sew-in cause her hair to come out, her edges to come out, or any of that. Even if this was a sew-in that I use glue, like I said, you guys, I have another frontal sew-in tutorial on my channel, and there was glue used and her hair did not come out. So as you guys should know by now, I'm going to be using the got-to-be gel to slick back her edges, and then I'm going to go ahead and mold that down with a tissue wrap. All this is going to do is lay it like super flat. You can skip this step if you want to. It isn't necessary at all. So then I'm just going to go ahead and blow dry that until it's completely dry. So the braiding pattern that I use for frontals, wigs, and things like that allows me to braid each braid into itself, leaving me with only one braid to sew down. So that's what you guys are going to see me doing here. This is pretty simple. You just want to braid it in between, oh my gosh. You want to sew it, sew it down really flat, and then sew it into one of the braids so that it isn't sticking out or isn't lumpy or any of those things. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put her ball cap down. You guys, on my last video, I had so many questions. Why don't you use a cap that's closer to the client's skin? Let me tell you, ball caps come in 3 different colors: white, nude, and brown, and dark brown, 4 different colors. A lot of the times the brown and the dark brown is way too dark for your client, so it's much easier to just get a lighter cap, not a white cap, but like this nude color cap. Take some of this cream contour kit that I'm using and put some cream contour on top of it. That way you can actually get a color that's super close to your client's complexion. If you go get a brown cap, if it's too dark for your client's skin, you're going to see it underneath their lace. Once I'm finished applying the makeup, I'm going to use my freeze spray to pretty much just lock that in so that the color doesn't fade away, you know, during the duration of her install. And then I'm just going to go over it with the blow dryer. What you guys see me doing here is sewing down the back of the cap, pretty much half of the cap where the frontal will end. I don't keep the entire cap on my client's head for the sew-in. I only need it to be underneath the frontal, so it's really scalp-like, you know. So that's all I'm doing here is just sewing it down, and then I'm going to cut the rest of the cap off. Alright, you guys, So a major key to this glueless install is going to be this elastic band. I'm going to measure my client's head from ear to ear, from the back of the head. When you guys are measuring it, it's very important for you to stretch the elastic band. You don't want to measure it and then cut it where your measurement was. You want to stretch it so that it has tension on the elastic band. So now I'm going to have my client hold down the front of the frontal, and I'm going to cut off the frontal that goes over her ear. So this frontal is too big for her. Like most people, frontals are way too big for them. So you do have to go in and cut off the excess that the sides. You guys know what I'm talking about. You're going to see me do it here. So I'm just going to part it with my comb, the part that goes over her ear, and then just cut it off on both sides. After you're finished cutting, the frontals should look something like this, okay? So now this is where I'm going to place the elastic band. You want the elastic band to be pointing outwards, and I'm going to sew it down, and then when I'm finished, it's going to look like that. So now what you want to do is have your client hold down the front while you place the elastic band around the perimeter of her head. So because the elastic band is super tight, you do not want to just keep this on your client's head because they do tend to cause headaches. So what you're going to see me doing here is sewing down the elastic band, and I'm just going to sew it down on that first braid on both sides, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. So what this is going to do is keep the tension on the frontal so that it does not move, but yet it isn't. I'm going to make sure it isn't giving my client a headache. And now I'm just going to go ahead and sew down the frontal and sew in the bundles for this install. If you guys are interested in purchasing this hair, my website will be back up and running for hair orders on April 19th at 12 a.m. for one day only until next month. I will have all the links to my website in the description box. Also, all of the materials and other information for this install in the description box. So make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. Alright, so now that I'm finished sewing in all of her hair for this install, I'm going to go ahead and pluck the front of this frontal. If you guys need an in-depth plucking tutorial, I will leave the link to my video in the description box. I do have a plucking tutorial already on my channel, so I won't go into too much detail. I'm just going to give you guys a glimpse of what I did, but I will have that video in the description box for you. Alrighty, so once I'm satisfied with my plucking, what you guys want to go ahead and do is sew down the frontal on a braid. You want to locate one of her braids on each side of her head and sew there. You guys will see me doing that. What this is going to do is prevent the because it isn't glued down, it's going to prevent the frontal from shifting backwards. Okay, so she's getting a side part, so that's the reason why, and obviously it's on the other side. So that's the reason why I chose this braid, because it's a really like nice braid. It's thick and it's pretty big, because like I said, my client edges are thinning, so I didn't want to choose a braid on the side. I wanted a braid to be extremely sturdy. So now I'm going to go ahead and lay down the front of her hair. The setting lotion that I'm using is Nairobi. Again, all of the materials that I'm using will be listed in the description box, you guys, along with the links to purchase. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and comb this through, and then I'm going to sit her under the dryer for about 5 minutes until that's completely dry. So now I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting her hair. I'm not really going to talk too much on this part, you guys. I'm just going to allow it to just play out. It's pretty self-explanatory what I was doing. The side that's the longest, I left it pretty long. I like dramatic looks like that. I felt like this was the perfect spring bob. So yeah, I'm just going to show you guys how I cut her hair and styled her hair. So just keep on watching. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut off her lace. I will be cutting her lace off in in stages, I guess you can say. So I don't just go across and cut it like just one big old piece of cake. I pretty much cut it in sections. That's the word. Sections. So you guys can pretty much see what I'm doing here. When you guys are cutting the lace on the frontal, it's very, very important for you to take your time and to also follow the natural hairline. So you don't want to just cut it straight across, but you also don't want to cut it. I know a lot of people say cut it zigzag. I don't really cut mine like that. I pretty much just follow the hairline that I designed when I plucked it. So once I'm finished, you know, adding a little extra hairs on the lace, I'm going to go ahead and sit her under the dryer once again until this is dry. And once I take that off, I'm just going to go ahead and comb her hair out on the edges. And this is just going to make sure that the baby hairs isn't like super hard or crunchy looking. It's going to make it really soft looking, more natural looking. You guys, you know how I feel about baby hairs. I don't like nothing too crazy, just something, you know, to make it look natural. At the end of the day, this is a frontal, it's lace. You're going to see the lace, okay? But this is the final look. And if you guys enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, please share this video, comment, let me know what you thought. And I hope to see you guys in my next one. Again, this is a completely glueless install. All you need is the elastic band, some good lace, and some good setting lotion. And here it is. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.